Hey guys, Wanderer here, and welcome to my Kingdom Come Deliverance guide for how to get the best possible start in the prologue. In this guide, I'm going to go over how to get the maximum amount of gold, gear, stats, and skills during the prologue, how to kill all the soldiers and get their gear when saving Teresa, where to stash that gear during your return to Skalitz so you can return for it later, and how to steal the best early game weapon as well as a good set of armor once you get to Ratai. By the end of this guide, you should have well over 2,000 groschen as well as a bunch of weapons and armor that you can sell once the stolen flag wears off of them. If you find this guide helpful, please leave a like and subscribe for more Kingdom Come Deliverance content. So when you first wake up in Kingdom Come, you'll be talking to your mother and you'll have the option for speech checks. During these speech checks, go ahead and select the strength options as these will guarantee you some strength early game. Once that's done, head outside and start picking flowers. There is unfortunately a little bit of grinding in this guide, however it'll be worth it, trust me. Most of the herbs you'll be picking are only going to sell for 0.1 or 0.2 groschen, however, pay special attention to sage as that sells for 0.5 groschen each. Picking all these herbs has a dual purpose. Number one, it allows you to get a lot of early game groschen, and number two, it allows you to level up strength. This is achieved through the Leg Day perk, which at level 10 of Herbalism allows you to level up your strength whenever you're leveling up Herbalism. By the time I was done picking all the herbs in Skalitz and selling them, I had 15 Herbalism and 6 strength. When gathering an herb, your character will pick up everything in an area around the herb you're picking up. Each level of Herbalism increases this effect. By the time you're level 10 plus in Herbalism, you'll be looting very large patches all at once every time you gather. That said, Herbalism is nowhere near as useful as you would think later on, as there are much easier ways to make money than picking herbs, and alchemy is really not that great. If nothing else though, I do highly recommend at least picking all the sage you can find in Skalitz. Talk to your father to get the main quest and select the diplomacy option to pass the speech check. Now go and pick more flowers. There are 6 different vendors we're going to be talking to sell our goods in Skalitz. The first is Henry's girlfriend, Bianca, at the inn. Bianca will only trade in food goods, things like mead, meat, vegetables, etc. Note that she'll also buy stolen goods at a reduced price, so if you do steal some stuff around town, you can sell it to her as long as it's food. Next to the inn is the Skalitz Market, where there are 3 traders in stalls. The first one trades only in tailored goods. The second trader sells repair kits, and you'll want to purchase a small repair kit of every type before you leave Skalitz. Those are the tailor kit, the cobbler kit, the blacksmith kit, and the armorer kit. He also will accept herbs as a form of payment. The third stall trader sells various ingestible goods. He will also accept herbs as a form of payment. Note that he also has 3 savior schnapps in his inventory, and you should try to buy those before you leave Skalitz. Across the street from the 3 male stall vendors, there is a female stall vendor who will only accept ingestibles for trade. If Bianca runs out of gold when you're selling ingestibles, this trader is an alternative. To the left of the female stall vendor, there is an actual trading shop. The vendor in here has 3 savior schnapps and will accept herbs as a form of payment. Behind this shopkeeper, there's a door leading to her private and storage areas. This is a private area, and if you're caught walking through here, you will get in trouble. However, you can very easily walk through the door, close it, then enter sneak mode in order to not be detected. Inside here you'll find many food items as well as some alcohol and various alchemy items. You can cook these stolen items and they will no longer be flagged as stolen. You can also find many food goods in the side room and the storage room of the inn. The inn also has a cellar where you can steal some alcohol. Grab everything here and then sell it to Bianca. Whenever trying to sell stolen items, make sure that you sell items that are not flagged and items that are flagged separately. The reason for this is because whenever you sell stolen items, a vendor will lower their price for everything in your basket. This can cause the price on your non-stolen goods to drop as well as the price of your stolen goods. Just a quick tip here, when fighting Kunish, don't try anything fancy. When I first started the game, I was trying to block his hits and do all kinds of crazy things, but in reality, the best way to win at a brawl is just to spam your jab attack as fast as possible. Even if they're blocking, they'll still lose some health. To make sure you beat him, just keep spamming until you're almost out of stamina, then back up and kite him until your stamina regens, then quickly jab him again and just keep going until he's down. There are 3 items you can get here which are meant to pay for the charcoal that Father has asked you to get. Those are Kunesh's axe and a tree stump outside, and then Kunesh's nails and hammer inside in a chest. Once you're all done picking up herbs and everything that isn't generally nailed down, go and talk to the warrior just outside of the inn. You can train with him and he will teach you the basics of swordplay. During this tutorial, he teaches you how to chain attack your slashes. However, if you don't chain your attacks, you can just sit there swinging at him for a good 5 or 10 minutes. This will increase your agility, your strength, and maybe even your swordsmanship. Just note that as soon as you chain 3 attacks together, the training session will end, and he will time out after a certain amount of time, even if you don't do them. Depending how thorough you've been in Skalitz, you can leave with around 200 gold, 1 repair kit of every type, 6 strength, and 15 herbalism. You should also have around 8 or 9 savior schnapps that you bought from the various vendors. When you're ready, go ahead and gather the remaining items that your father requested that you get, and go and talk to him. This will trigger the Forging of the Sword as well as the Battle of Skalitz cutscene. After the cutscene plays, Henry is given the task of riding to Talmberg to warn them of the impending Cuman army. You'll find a Cuman soldier out here that you can try to fight. However, fighting him by conventional means will almost certainly mean that you will die. In fact, even after about 3 hours of trying, I've never been able to kill him by actually locking on and fighting him. He just kills you every single time. Henry just doesn't have the skills required to fight this guy at this time in the story. If you're really determined to fight him, you can do so by looking away from him about 90 degrees away and then swinging and quickly turning towards him. Because the game is physics-based, this will cause your sword to actually hit him even though you're not locked on. Doing this about 4 to 5 times will result in the Cuman dying. You can then take his gear. However, there's a much easier way of doing this, and that is to get a horse and use mounted combat. Down the hill from the castle, you'll find a house with several horses outside and several Cuman soldiers trying to rape Teresa. To save her, you only need to hit these guys once and run away, but if you want to kill them all and take their gear, you certainly can. On foot, you would have absolutely no chance against these guys, and if you get knocked off your horse, you're going to want to get back up quickly, hold down the sprint button, and get back on your horse as fast as possible. Getting knocked off your horse may also cause this wonderful glitch where Henry floats several feet above the ground and cannot reach his horse. With Teresa safely locked away in the house, it's time to get some bloody satisfaction. You'll now be swarmed by 5 to 10 Cuman soldiers, however, none of them are mounted. There's a very good reason why the cavalry was so feared. A mounted knight is far more dangerous than one on the ground. You can kill every last soldier here by stabbing them while mounted. Press the 1 key to draw Sir Radzig's sword, and then use the jabbing key to actually jab them when you get close. Always keep your horse at a gallop and try to kite them so you have a good running distance so you can line up your shots. If you slow your horse to a canter, the soldiers will pull you from your horse and you will get hit several times. As long as you stay mounted on the horse though, they really can't touch you. You might get grazed by an arrow now and then, but it shouldn't be enough to actually kill you. The soldiers also tend to bug out and stop moving if you get too far away from them. They won't react to you at all until you hit them again. You can use this to your advantage by running along the path back towards the front of Skalitz and then coming back once they're bugged out. Hitting these guys while mounted can be a challenge, but the reward is well worth it. You'll end up with a lot of stats, skills, and a whole bunch of loot. You should be able to salvage a decent set of armor from this, as well as a merchant sword, and that should be a pretty good early game weapon. It does 49 slash and 49 piercing. It also only requires 5 strength, and you can keep it after the prologue, unlike Sir Radzig's sword. Before you leave, make sure you grab everything from your horse and put it into your inventory, otherwise you'll lose access to it. Again, you will be over encumbered, but don't worry about it. Leaving will trigger a cutscene where Henry is wounded with a shot to the thigh. This is inevitable. It doesn't matter if you kill the soldiers or not, it's always going to happen. This effectively gives you a timer on how long you have to reach Talmberg before you die, because if you don't, you'll bleed out. I've experimented and it is possible to kill these soldiers, however there just isn't enough time. In order to effectively kill these soldiers, you would have to turn and shoot with the bow into their horse to first kill their horses, which requires 3 to 4 shots. This would need to be done for each of the 3 mounted riders, and then you'd have to kill the foot soldiers as well. Is it possible? Technically yes, I suppose. But I couldn't find enough time before Henry bled out, even if I took the slow bleeding perk. The only way to beat these guys without fleeing would be to find a way to bandage yourself, and since you can't bandage yourself in combat and I was not able to find any way to exit combat, it doesn't seem possible. Once you get to Talmberg, you're going to have to walk very, very slowly because you're going to be over encumbered to talk to Sir Robard, as well as to get some food in the kitchen. After speaking with Sir Robard and eating, your character will be tired, so you'll go and sleep for the night. Later, Sir Robard will wake you up, letting you know that Sir Radzig is outside along with the rest of the people that escaped from Skalitz. After the cutscene, you'll be put on guard duty until the morning comes. Once morning arrives, Sigismund's army of Cumans will show up at the doorstep of Talmberg. This is one of the worst parts of this entire tutorial because you have to walk slowly to the gate of Talmberg. Fortunately, you don't have to walk the entire way there, but you do have to get to at least the front gate. Once that's over, you can finally do some trading. You'll want to head over to Votava, the only trader in Talmberg, and sell as much as you can while buying lockpicks and save your schnapps. Henry then wishes to bury his parents, however to do so he will have to steal some guard armor to disguise himself as a guard to leave the castle. This is because Sir Radzig instructs Sir Robard to not let Henry leave. Make sure you talk to Lady Stephanie and get the free groschen she offers you to pay for the bribe. To steal the guard outfit, remove all clothing from Henry so he does not make any noise, and then unlock the very easy chest down in the tower here. Loot and equip the armor and everyone will think you're just another guard. Make your way back down to the castle courtyard and steal a horse. You will not be able to get over there in any reasonable amount of time when so over-encumbered, however, a horse does not care how much you weigh. After speaking to Garbadim and getting outside the castle, either through bribing him or talking to him and passing a speech check, you can go and sell some stuff at the trader down here. Unfortunately, she only has 200 groschen, so she definitely won't be able to buy everything from you, but at least you can unload some stuff here. Once done there, head northwest towards the quest marker and eventually you'll trigger a cutscene. Henry then abandons the horse and walks into the town of Ravna. This is quite a long ways to go on foot and Henry is over-encumbered. Walk down the path here towards where the dead horse is, and you're actually going to be at the fast travel point of Ravna. This town is currently abandoned and will remain so for the near future because they were destroyed along with Skalitz during the raid. This is a safe spot where you can drop all of your gear for now. No one should come and pick it up. With your gear safely dropped at the fast travel point of Ravna, go ahead and proceed into Skalitz and do the quest there. Your merchant sword and excellent armor should make very easy work of the bandits along the way. You could technically ferry all of their gear back over to your other pile of gear at the fast travel point, however, I only took the very best stuff that was worth the most. It just wasn't worth my time. After burying your parents and several cutscenes later, you end up in the town of Ratai at the mill. All of your belongings will be in a chest next to you by your bed. Once you exit the building, you can fast travel up to Ravna. Grab your shoes, a weapon, and your gold and head up to Ravna. Because you have no armor on, I would advise ignoring everything you meet along the way. And there it is, our giant pile of loot we left over at the fast travel point in Ravna before going into Skalitz. Pick up everything you can carry here and then fast travel over to Talmberg and see if you can sell some more stuff to the trader there. You'll likely be arrested as soon as you get to Talmberg. Go ahead and surrender, pay your fine, and get your name cleared. This is because you stole a horse earlier and you were probably seen. It's well worth the fee of 70 gold though, because you were able to carry everything over with you to Skalitz and then drop it off and get it later. It will most likely be nighttime by the time you get to Talmberg, so go ahead and sleep here and wait until morning when you can sell stuff to the merchant. You can use the same bed that you used previously when you were here before. Again, that merchant is right over here. Fast travel back to Ravna again, pick up any gear you left behind, and then fast travel to the south gate of Ratai. If you don't have it unlocked, fast travel to the mill first and walk towards it until it becomes unlocked. Sell the rest of your goods at the vendors around Ratai. Once you're done, you should have an excess of 2,000 groschen. Unfortunately, you'll have to use some of that money right away to repair your gear. In this case, it costs me almost 1,000 groschen to repair my gear. Go ahead and pay it, but obviously haggle the price down a bit if you can. From here on out, try to always repair your own armor using those repair kits you got earlier in Skalitz. You can always purchase more from the traders here. This has two benefits. Number one, it costs less, and number two, it actually raises your maintenance skill, which provides some nice bonuses. Go and drop your newly repaired gear off back at the chest over at the Ratai Mill. Now head to the north gate of the castle and go up the stairs here into the guard area. Eventually you'll come to this area above the main gate. Wait for the guard here to patrol away. If you haven't already, now would be a good time to use a save your schnapps. Go into stealth mode and steal everything in this tower. There are a whole bunch of sleeping guards here, but if you're quiet and you have no gear on, you should not disturb them. There's easily 2,000 or 3,000 groschen worth of weapons and other stuff here. The weapons here include things like the Piercer, the Soul Slasher, multiple Ash and Yew hunting bows, many good shields, as well as many axes and maces. Run back out the way you came in, and eventually you'll come to a second door that leads to another guard tower. Once again, if there's someone here, just wait for them to patrol away, and once they're gone, go up the stairs. Once up the stairs, head up the ladder. In this room, you'll see several sleeping guards in beds. Be very quiet and don't try to steal anything near them, but go up the ladder into a loft up above. In this loft, there will be a easy locked chest, and in this chest, you'll find the best early game weapon, the Duelist. This is a piercing and slashing longsword that does 62 damage on both. This is pretty much the best weapon I've found in the game besides the endgame weapon, which you can get early on, but it requires 10 strength to wield. Also note that the items in this chest, as well as all the items in the guard tower that we've stole before, are not marked as stolen. You can actually sell those to the armorsmith and weaponsmith in Ratai, and there are no consequences. Once you've sold what you don't want and stashed back at the mill what you do want, head over to the church. This is in the western corner of the city of Ratai. Over here, you'll find a guard tower behind the church. There might be one guard here. If he's here, go ahead and let him patrol away, then sneak in, make sure nobody's outside here, close the door again, and then start looting. There'll be a whole bunch more stuff here that you can steal. This gear does count as stealing, so you'll have to hold on to it until it loses the stolen tag, or sell it to a fence. Once you're done looting the stuff on this floor, head up the ladders to the 3rd floor. There's actually some chests on the 2nd floor here, but they're going to be very hard locked and you won't be able to get them. The top floor should be deserted and there should be 2 easy chests to unlock here. Between these 2 chests, you should find some decent plate armor pieces like chassis, a cuirass, etc. that you might not currently have. Go ahead and take everything and head out. And that's pretty much it, guys. So just to show you what I've amassed here, here's my character stats after all of that. Here's all my armor that I'm currently wearing. Of course, some of this is stolen, so I'll have to get this laundered at the miller once I get that quest done for him. If you want more information about that, check out my Thievery and Stolen Goods guide. And here's all my stolen goods back at the chest. There's about 4,000 to 5,000 groschen worth of stuff here. If you just leave it here, you will be able to sell it eventually. You just have to wait until it's no longer hot. Alright guys, well if this video was helpful to you, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in Kingdom Come.
That's